Okay.
We'll just go over the white and red.
White and
It's
red.
the first target right there in front.
Alright, okay. And it's like a 9 iron, 8 iron, okay?
Yeah. Let's hit some today.
What's that?
Let's hit some right today. See what we get.
To the right over the white and red.
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. Definitely not that issue anymore.
What's that?
So it's definitely not that issue anymore.
Not the over the top. I'm at like 6 degrees in. What am I?
Yeah.
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 But it's okay. It's a different thing.
You want me to start it over the red and white or finish it over the red and white?
That's your target. That's your target.
So finish it.
Yeah. So you can make the target your white one if you want.
Yeah.
Where the ball's going to end.
Yep, yep.
That's basically the same spot. Is that more your shot?
Yeah. It's kind of what I'm hitting right now.
It's kind of a combination, right? You've got your hands take the club a little bit flat,
Yeah.
but then your arms want to make a loop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they get steep.
Ooh. Okay, and do you see that curve in my back?
Mm-hmm.
Should I have that?
Should you have that? No.
Yeah. See how it's flat there, and then by the time I get to the top. Like, is my shoulder arching too much?
No, it's because like the left-sided pelvis turns too level.
Yeah, my hips are turned too much this way, right? Like.
Yeah, they turn. Your left side turns too level,
Yeah.
and then your upper spine. Like you don't quite get into your left leg. You kind of reverse back to your right leg
Like a reverse pivot.
with your lower body. Yeah, your lower like if you just kind of don't look at your upper body, just look at your legs.
Yeah, just looking at the lower.
Right. You kind of reversed onto your right leg.
Yeah.
Right. So your lower body's going forward. So your upper body, as it rotates, is trying to extend and move to the left at the same time.
Because this is already, yeah.
Well, you're looking for a way to get behind it, like your lower body didn't give you that opportunity, and now your upper body's trying to give you that opportunity, because that's the only chance you've got at that point. Do you know what I mean? Because if you rotated more upwards where you were, you'd be too far in front.
Yeah.
Right, and too much on top of it. So, you know, you understand what you need, you've got to get behind it, you've got to get inside out. So you're looking for those elements, and then that's what's causing this curvature in your spine.
Yeah.
Because the problem with that is it leads to like if we take a line up the inside of your left leg,
Yeah.
your right shoulder has turned behind the ball,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say your shoulders have turned behind your lower body. You understand what I'm saying? You've turned your upper body's turned behind the ball, but your upper body hasn't turned behind your lower body.
Yeah.
Right? So like if I, as a right-handed player, but if I go up on this side and back here,
Mm-hmm.
right, and then if I have a line that runs up the inside of this right leg,
Yep.
for me, that line
That
would
front
extend.
shoulder will cross.
These shoulders would be behind this line.
Yeah.
That runs up on my trail leg here, right? So I'm clearly behind the ball, but more importantly, I'm behind my lower body.
Right.
Whereas you're on this side of the line. Do you see what I'm saying? So just in terms of your turn, yeah, without even making a swing, right? Yeah, you start there again.
Yeah.
Can you do it just with just hold your left heel just slightly off the ground,
Mm-hmm.
just right there. So because when you're going to get into your backswing, you're going to put pressure there, right?
Right.
Okay, so do that again. Bend over a little bit more and dress. Do that again. Get this to turn higher. Yeah.
Now is this this is a more appropriate hip turn, right? Not like this.
Right.
Like
Now
what I
you,
was
you
doing.
need to just turn up.
Yeah.
Keep that heel up to begin with. Yeah. Good. Do it again. Well, I want this feeling in your takeaway. So you're on that left foot and you're up, and then you turned here, right?
Yeah. So here first, and then here.
Yeah. So your lower left
Yep.
is going up, and your upper right is going around and level.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
So you're using your lower body as your angle to the ground. Does that make sense? Yeah, that one.
Okay.
See, now if I do a line,
Yeah.
right, now this line would extend and your shoulders would be behind it.
This.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Does that feel different?
Yeah. Well, this is a really good way because one of the other issues was that I would roll out my knee.
Yep.
And then I would lose a ton of power, no ground force, no twit. Like.
Right.
But this really helps me.
You gotta get up. You know, no, bend over. But
Yep.
this has got to get higher initially, and then you can turn. Yeah. Now put your foot back down.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, but also this is straight, right?
Right.
This isn't letting. It doesn't let it.
No,
really,
no,
like,
no.
I get deeper into my hip.
Yeah. Right there. Then from there, then this part of your spine here, your sternum, right? Because you got pressure on the inside of your left heel. Can you feel that right now?
Yeah, and my
Okay.
toe.
Right.
More
now,
my toe.
Now with this part of your spine right here, you're gonna push. You're gonna push down the inside of your left leg into this heel and stay there, like you're pushing back towards the putting green over there.
Yep.
Right. So you're pushing that way. That's your upper body. Your lower body, you're gonna push with your pelvis into your right toe with some force right there. Yeah. So you got hold
So
right
this
there.
pelvis is pulling towards that toe.
Yeah, and then you stay this way.
Okay.
So stay here. Right. So if I do this, I can't move you with your upper body.
Right.
Okay. And if I do this, I can't move your lower body.
Right.
Like you drive into my hand, push against me with your
Yeah.
lower body, and
Yeah.
at the same time, you don't let me win this way.
Okay.
Good. You feel
So
out there?
that way. This. Okay. Yep.
See, at that point, your club would be now down to here in a position to hit.
So I should at that point, right? I've made.
You would have been down.
I'd be here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And do you feel like I'm deep in the swing? Like my hands are
Well,
behind my
that's going to
chest?
be. Well, they are behind you, but they have to be because of the way you've turned.
Okay.
Right, because your turn hasn't allowed you to get in. So you have three spaces, right? You have the space where the club and the ball operate.
Yep.
You have the space where your arms are operating.
Yep.
And then you have the space where your body's operating.
Yep.
Now the problem is with your turn, your body has occupied some of the area where your arms wanted to be. So your arms occupied the area where your body wanted to be.
Because they got to work around each other somehow.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
Right. So, but once you turn different and you stay in its location, then you can now pivot inside of your arms
Yeah.
and afford to have your arms and the club more in front of you. If your pivot's over here, you're going to have to be this way.
Then you
Because
have
if
to-
you
you
kept
have
it
to
in
go like
front, you'd
this,
be
just-
outside in.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So this would allow you a different motion with your hands and arms. Yes. But your pivot would be number one.
Yeah.
Now that'd be number one.
Okay.
Because your hands and arms look like you would curve it for left to right too much.
Left to right. Like a drop.
Yeah. Right? Like that would be your situation, right?
Like when you look at this at the top, like it looks like, elbow out. Looks like
your
you've got-
forearm, your left forearm needs to be more vertical.
Yep.
Right? And then that would change. Well, that would change as a result of the way your hands work. Your arms are going to be
So you
your
don't
arms.
diagnose the forearm. You just fix the hands, and the forearm will sort itself.
Yes, because as soon as if I'm right-handed, my hands work this way, my arms working that way.
Yeah.
All right. So as soon as my wrists go this way, my arm has to go that way.
Yeah.
Now,
Versus.
Now, if you can give me that, just to go back to where we were. Can we go back to the top again?
Yep.
Just kind of go over this one more time because this is kind of a critical point. So you're there, right?
Yep.
So hold that pressure against your left heel.
Yep.
Right? Drive with pressure with your pelvis into your right toe.
Yep.
Right. So at that point, you should be.
Pretty solid.
I shouldn't be able to move you in either direction, right?
Yeah.
I shouldn't be able to pull you this way, and I shouldn't be able to push you back there. You feel out now?
Yep.
Now from there, you've got pressure on your right toe.
Right, I'm starting to get into
So
my
now
lead.
you can push here. You can push there. Still stay turned. I'll go back there again. Still stay here. Now push on this right toe. Get this side of your pelvis to rotate up. Good. Keep coming. Hold right there. And now with this part of your spine now, use that as leverage against the inside of your right heel to rotate and push up against to balance yourself to your finish. Feel that? Feel that?
Right, and it's all about this jab going
right.
up. It's not the back foot pushing it forward. It's
So
here
your
and-
whole, well, there's two things, right? Your whole pivot is on the inside of your legs,
Yeah.
right? In either direction, right? You're going up, down, and up, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're going up, and then you land on your lead foot, and then you rotate up, right? So
Look at you.
you're
Look at
always
that.
operating in here.
Yep.
The clubs are always operating in here, on the inside of your forearms.
Yep.
Your pivot's on the inside of your legs. Feel that now?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's try and add that to what this would do.
Okay. So
Right.
if I was to think about making a swing,
Yep.
am I?
Stay there. Don't move.
Okay.
So right now, your arm is parallel to the ground. Is that fair?
Yep.
But it is not parallel to your target.
It's inside.
It's inside.
That
Right?
would be parallel to my target. Ish.
There. Yeah, lower. So there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay.
All right. See what I mean? I'll start again. Now to get there, hold on with your hands. To get there, we would go. That way.
Whoa.
Just relax that there. You feel the difference in your wrist?
Yeah.
All right. See, when you do your takeaway, I'll explain to you this way. When you're doing your takeaway, see, I would like to achieve. See, as I round this club up, right? You can see
Yeah.
it from this angle, right?
Uh huh.
From there, right? But as I round it up this way,
You wanted to stay on the plane line,
originally, because at this point I haven't lifted my arms yet.
right?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm going to follow the plane line that I had at address, but also more importantly, as I rotate and hinge my lead wrist, I've maintained this. I've maintained the distance between my right hand and my right
from
shoulder.
The address from the address position.
Yeah, all I've done is I've rotated up the plane, but I haven't changed the width.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Right. You didn't go like this.
No, you didn't. You tend to try and find that spot, but you lift it, right? And you change this radius.
Okay.
You change this radius, now you change the timing of when you're going to hinge your wrist.
And then you have to become handsy.
You have to, but
Yeah.
it's then. But you're also, you got to remember your arms are trying to extend now to get back, right? So you just, if you can get to here in the right spot from here, then all you got to do now is just continue your pivot, right? So let's go there again.
Takes the hands out. It's just rotation.
Yeah, it's just purely rotation of your body and your right forearm.
Okay.
It's getting to here. You are now?
Mm-hmm. And I'm in front.
Right.
Okay. One of my big weaknesses is that I go deep.
You go deep because of the way your wrist work. You are now.
Uh-huh.
So now you'd be more like this. Feel that? So then from here, I'm going to bring you back down. You would release more. That way. More into the back of your right hand. You feel that?
The back of my right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
You should start to feel like kind of so you've landed, right? You're on your
Right.
You're on your
I'm
right
on my.
toe, right?
I'm getting
Okay.
to my right foot.
Right, so now as your right foot pushes forward and your right side of your pelvis rotates up and back, you can feel how this is bringing.
And am I locked out by head impact?
No.
Not yet.
No. You lock out, you're gonna fade. It's in the process of extending, right? Your
Right. It
pelvis
should be firing.
Your pelvis is gonna extend your leg better. Feel that?
Yeah.
Go through there again. And try and use your sternum there to push up against the inside of your right heel.
Yep.
There. Good. Feel that?
Yep.
Again. Better. Feel that more? Hold it. Just hold it here like a 3/4 one. Hold right there. Stay there. So from here, like your bicep here is at the same line as your
Flat.
shoulders, right? This is like a table, right?
Yep.
Your shoulders and your bicep right there. You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
This is an extension, right? Your right arm and the club in line. So if you hold that, come over here, and then you put it back down, you can start again.
Oh.
So you finished where you started.
Okay.
It's kind of the objective, right?
Okay.
See what I mean?
All right. Wait.
Do you
so,
Right? Go there again. We'll come on through. Push up, and you're here. And then you can hold that whole unit. Come here.
well, except for this arm's straight, this arm's bent.
Yeah,
But it should be that way.
but your arms are in the same spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
They're in the
yeah.
same spot. The
Sure.
club's at the same angle you started with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Everything else is the same. Because all you got to do here is just re-hinge your wrist, right, on the plane, right?
That's the takeaway, right? That's the finish.
It's just going to continue on the arc and just hinge in line. Feel that? And let's do your backswing again.
So my old, yeah.
Turning up, and your upper body's feeling like it's going around.
Mm-hmm.
Feel that now?
Mhm.
You should feel like now you're here.
Yep.
All right.
Pressure in the back.
You're going to use.
You can't
that.
move me.
You're going to use that. You're going to drive into your right toe. Good. Hold it. Feel that? And from there, you're going to push up and continue to release now. Hold it. Into there. Into there. Feel that?
Okay.
Does that feel different? Very, or just a little bit? Does that feel a lot?
Oh, okay. So look, I naturally go to here,
Yes.
like over there. And
Yes.
You have me here,
Right.
which is different, very different, much higher finish.
Well, you got to remember your history though. Your history was you
Yeah.
were
Well,
losing the ball to the left, so you'd want to swing lower to the
my
right.
history was to finish like this, and it would come down like this, and then I would
Well,
go.
that's right. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
But if you're coming from the inside now, like you are,
Mhm.
right, then you can continue to release. Wait for your shoulder before your head pivot.
Okay.
That way. You feel that more?
Yeah.
Hitting
And
up
this
that.
should stop the big right miss.
The more your arms go up, the more you would stop. I mean, if you're finishing low and right, you're going to hit it low and right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to finish only to the point like you see in the picture here, Jay. Right?
Bicep and shoulder.
You can see if your arms above your shoulders, then you would go to the left.
Yeah.
If your arms, like in your case, I'm not saying in his case.
No, yeah, I
Right?
understand.
But if your arms are higher than your shoulder plane, then
I'm
you
used
would miss to the left.
I'm
If
used
you're-
to transferring it from righty to
Right,
lefty.
but if your arms are below your shoulder plane, you would tend to hit low right shots.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So you want to, this is neutral, right? This being neutral, this is neutral, this is neutral. Right?
Yeah.
Perfectly neutral, right? So above that would make you miss to the left, and below that would make you miss to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Good. There.
This is a really good way to think about it for me, is that it should be, your finish should be just like you address it.
Well, your impact, right? Stay there at address.
Okay.
Right. Don't move anything. Don't move anything, except can you? If I do this, right,
Mhm.
behind my lead knee, across my thigh there, right? Okay. So as I've got the club there, without me moving my thighs at all, or my hand, I'm bending that shaft. Can you see that?
Yeah.
But I'm not moving.
But you're
I'm not moving.
there's flexing, your tension.
No, I'm using torque out of my lead foot
Oh,
on the
yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
Right? So what I'm saying is when you do it, right?
For a lefty.
Right? Behind your right knee in here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right there. Without you moving your upper body or your thighs, push your right foot forward and push your right calf back at the same time without moving your thighs. So use your foot and your calf to bend this shaft. You feel that?
Yeah.
All right there. Keep pushing it. All right there. More. Okay, stay there. And that's where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So you go from address to there, right? You feel that now?
Mm-hmm.
So once we get into that right foot, I got to get you to bend the shaft.
Get into the right foot. Bend
Right?
the shaft.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like once you get into your position to hit, you're now going to bend the shaft here with your lower body.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is that fair?
Not with my hips, with my calf.
Well, eventually it's going to translate up.
Yeah, but I
Right,
can't
but
think
initially,
about that. Yeah.
initially it's like there, and then it's just a continuation because you pushed here. This is pushing back, and now this right side of your pelvis is going to push back and up.
Eventually, it'll
Right?
go up
This
the
is
chain.
going to exactly. Let's go back with your back. But that's how we get to the end. Now, we're going to land on. You can keep that heel just like we're going to land on this foot,
Mm-hmm.
and then when we land on that foot, you're going to go up with that left side of your pelvis.
Yeah.
And around with your.
Oh, sorry. I'm always moving.
Okay. Feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Then you put it back down, right? Right, now you can use your sternum here to push and drive. Rotate in,
Now on the right side. Now bend the club.
right? Now bend the club. Keep rotating your right forearm. Come on up. Nice. Feel that?
Yeah.
All right, let's hit a few shots and see what we get.
Let's see if I can program
Just
any
a
of this
little bit,
in.
right?
Before I haven't even put this together in a full swing yet. Let's see.
Give me a proper practice swings, yeah.
That's
Do it
not-
again.
not
Give
the
me a
finish.
smaller one where you only finish 3/4. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, hold there. Keep rotating your right forearm and come up, right?
This is 3/4. Finishing here.
You're just there, right? Just hands above your shoulder up to there. Feel that? Because all you got to do then is rehinge your wrist, and you're done. Very nice, good shot. That's different.
Wow. So it doesn't have like the loop in it. It's so stable.
Well, you got to understand why you had a loop, right?
Well, because that's
No, you had a loop. Look, your club went in a position where it would go now because you tended to curve it too much to the right. It would have a phase where it would go from flat to steep to flat. Flat, steep, flat.
okay.
Right? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Now, someone who has that motion, that's a hook. Right? So as soon as I see someone with a hand and club motion that's a hook, but they're not, then their body motion must be a push or a slice.
Okay.
Right, it
So
has
that's
to
the
be.
diagnosis. Is
That
that
has to be, right? It has to be, right? So as soon as your body is fixed with your pivot, where you no longer have a component that would make you steepen the club or hit to the left, that exposes your hands and arms motion that's now going to want to close the club face,
Yeah.
right? You see what I'm saying?
All right. So if I could, let's see. So
Yeah. Do that start again.
I'm really your.
Your start, you keep lifting your arms. I'm following this plane right here,
Okay.
right? So, kind of breaking down analysis-wise, right?
Yep.
Okay, your left hand is trying to spin the shaft this way without opening the face.
Okay.
That way. You feel that?
Without opening the face.
That's opening the face.
Yep.
I'm spinning the shaft, but I'm not opening the face. Can
Yep.
you feel that?
Okay.
Right. So as your left hand's feeling that, your right forearm is rotating into the front of that shaft.
Yep. Wait. Now the face is open.
All right, there, stay there.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay.
Feel that? Do we go now?
Mhm.
Right. And then continue with your pivot. So you kind of, when you start, you kind of go kind of up in this area. You know what I mean? So your arms get outside, the club gets outside.
Mhm.
Right? I got to follow this original angle here.
Okay.
Right? So give me that same feeling with your left hand,
Twisting it
twisting the other way.
this way.
That way, but not opening the face.
Okay.
Right? So you're twisting, but adding loft. You feel that?
Uh huh.
So that's not open. Good. Here we go now.
Yep.
All right. Now you should feel like this right arm and hand is more in control. Right? If you had to reverse it to hit, it feels like it's the dominant player in your release. Can you feel
The
that?
left hand, the low hand has always been my I time it up with the low hand, and that's not how I want to.
No, but when I moved you there, would be fair to say that your percentages would probably be now like your right arm and hand on that one felt like
Right.
60-40?
At least
70-30?
Yeah, more.
Yeah, that's what you want. Whereas before it's probably the other way around.
70% lower hand.
Yeah. You feel that now? So
Mhm.
you need a takeaway that gives you the sense that this right arm and hand is going to be the dominant figure in your release. Great. That's your best one. Here we are there.
Yeah.
So now it feels like this is totally in control.
Mhm.
If you reversed it, you'd hit harder into the back of your right hand now. Feel
Yeah,
that?
bam.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And then you could rotate up and pivot up. Feel that? Does that help you with your start? Much better. Feel that?
Too deep. Hold on. There.
Mm-hmm. Better. Good.
Okay, don't worry about that one. That was
You
just.
didn't even start on the ball. You started inside.
That's true. That's true. I'm just trying to feel here without even hitting the ball.
Give me that takeaway again. Yeah, good. Yeah.
And I'm.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Good. Good. Nice. You see that. Closer.
It's on target. It's just
That's
not.
a better miss. Club's already different. Try again.
It's got to be the finish. I'm finishing it wrong.
Got a little flippy in your hand.
Okay.
Let's go. Got it?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, hold it. Feel that? One more time.
Okay.
Up on your right. Got it? I don't need any crossover in your hand. Better. More with your arm. Good. Hit it again. Stay there. So for a 3/4 finish, you shouldn't be that hard.
Okay. Okay.
Like with that club on a full follow through, your upper body should be facing the target. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you shouldn't be past the target through the ball. That means you turn too hard up here.
Oh, I see.
But we'll just go facing the target 3/4 finish. Feel that?
Yep.
See that one. Good. Much better. Yes. Let's see that. Yes. Show me that shot.
Yep.
Full speed. That shot. Just that length. Back and through. Stay there. Stay there. Don't move.
I went too far.
No, you're pretty close. Stay there. You're right here. Okay, hold what you got.
Yep.
Turn. Put your foot back down. Turn. Put it back. You're pretty darn close, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Right? See what I mean?
Out of curiosity.
Right. That was a different shot. It feel different?
5 degrees. Okay.
Well, no. Don't worry about that. Worry about 2.
About 2?
You're 2 degrees.
Oh, direction. Yeah.
That's more important than this. You influence this number, right? Okay. So you influence this number with your hands.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, with my hands.
This is
yeah.
your swing.
Right.
This is your swing, and this is your impact, right? But when your hands close the face,
Right. And
when your hands close the face, then it flip the club more out to the left, and then the machine measures that your path is 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's not really an indication of your swing.
So you're looking at swing direction is the whole thing together.
Yeah, see, what I would like to see, like perfect world, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 0.5,
Uh.
like to you, a negative number on this machine.
Negative
right?
0.5.
Positive for a right hand, right? 0.5, right? Two zeros, right? 0, and then this would be 1.
Yeah.
Right, so inside out 1, swing
Half a-
direction
half a swing.
0.5,
just
Right, and then it'd be a
barely.
1 foot draw, right?
Yeah.
So we're kind of working towards that. That's kind of the goal. Now, you also got to put in there your history, right? Your history a while ago was steep and across, right?
Steep and across. Fix that.
So when you get this down closer to 0, we get a little worried that we could head back
to the other
right.
way.
So instead of 0.5, let's say 1, because that gives you a little buffer there. You know what I mean? We've still got 1 degree to play with before we get to 0, and we get past 0, we're in trouble.
Because
right?
you know my history. You know
right.
well.
You've got to understand the person. Now, if the person's history is they're just a big slinging hooker, then I'm going to go down to 0.5 as much as I can.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to make a mistake, they'll go back to 1 degree inside out.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So you got to play with those numbers a little bit, but that's how I would view it, right? You know, because there's, you know, we could talk about the golf swing about writing the book or about fixing somebody's swing.
Yeah.
Right. So this backswing's better. See
Does
your
that
arms
still
are
look
now?
like reverse pivot though?
Slightly, yes.
Yeah.
But your arms are better,
Yeah. Okay.
right? Especially this arm.
Yeah.
This arm's not as high, and this arm's in a better
The
spot.
triangle.
Right, the
Yeah.
triangle, but also your
It's level.
right arm and the shaft are more in line. Your left forearm's in a better spot there.
Yep.
Right, the shaft's coming down on a better angle. Now here we could have been, right, we didn't quite get behind your lower body.
Yeah, I
right,
see
and
that.
then we're kind of,
I see
we're
that.
here, right? We don't have both shoulder blades behind the line, right? So we're a little bit on top of it. So there's a chance we're either going to do one of 2 things or both. We'll either slide or we'll tilt back. We have to do one or the other.
And
Right.
what's your? Do you like? Do you like the slide or do you not like the slide? Or
Well,
the
you
pump?
know, well, you need some lateral.
Yeah.
Right. You got to have a little bit of lateral force, right? The lateral force kind of tilts you a little bit, right? Like, you know, Dr. Gregor calls it rock and roll, right? You know, kind of tilt, right? Because as you go lateral, it kind of shallows it out, right?
Yeah.
So as you go lateral, it shows you out, and then from that point you can rotate, and then from that point you can go vertical, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you've got to have some lateral to get some pressure into this right foot. Now, the problem is, your lateral is probably going to go for too long because you had that tilt.
Already.
You have to. Because if you try and rotate too early, your body's not in the right position. You're not behind at this point.
Yep.
Right? So you're going to have to go a little bit more lateral, a little longer, which you do. Right? You kind of go a little bit more lateral, and now you're like, okay, I feel like my lower body is slid enough forward in front of my upper body, I can start to rotate now.
Yeah.
Right? But the problem is now I'm too far forward.
Way too. Yeah.
Right, you're
Look
too
at that
far forward,
position.
right? We didn't get behind it to begin with, and then we moved laterally to save our path, right? Which you needed a little laterally, but you moved more than you needed to kind of protect your path, so you didn't come steep and across it. And then we were just a little too far out in front, so then we had to kind of tilt back and hit it. Just a tiny bit, right? And then because of that, we just got a tiny little bit of motion with the hands, but the release was still much better.
Alright.
Right? You see where we are? So this one we could do better with the pivot. Do you know what I
Do
mean?
better with the take. Yeah.
Right.
At the back. Yeah.
So just kind of start with that left heel slightly off the ground. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Put your heel down there. Right? So you should feel like you could hold and drive into my hand, right?
Yep.
You want to drive into it? Good. Now you're already there. You don't have to move your upper body. Just drive your pelvis into your right foot.
Yep.
Right there. Now push and turn. Better. Keep going. And back up.
Yeah.
Feel that? Okay. So we'll see if we can do a little better pivot on this one. Trying to get behind it and then hit the same 3/4 shot. Feel that?
Yeah.
Hit it with your heel up.
Mm-hmm.
Push and turn that left sided pelvis up and turn behind it better. Yeah, good. Start again. Let's hit one that way. Good. Start again. Let's hit one. You ready?
Yes. Okay.
Same feel. Give it a go. Try it again. Next one. Into that left foot and up and behind it. Better. Good job.
Okay.
That's better.
One at
Slid a
time.
little forward on the downswing. You felt that, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, when you drive into that right foot,
Okay.
use that right foot as a brake, so your body doesn't keep sliding forward. Right. So once you hit that your big right toe, then start to push up and turn the right side of your pelvis away. You know what I mean? And feel like you use your sternum up on the inside of your right leg into the finish. Good. You got it? Okay. Get into your left foot, left side of your pelvis higher, round and up on that right.
Fast, but
It's all right. Let's try
I think
again.
if I made good contact, it would have been all right.
It's all right. Let's try again. Into your left and up. Good job. Very nice.
I gotta finish here. Though. I got a 3/4.
So your lower body is like, shift my weight, go up. Shift my weight, go up. Right? And then get into my right.
Yep.
You agree?
100%.
Right.
Oh, way left.
You're right.
Face.
Go again next. You got on the outside of your leg then.
Yep. There, yeah. I think I'm way too far that way.
But
Yeah.
but you got to help me out with your pivot so we can get
There.
inside of your arms and the club. Good, right there. Hold that now. Into your right foot. Your release feels more into the back of your right hand, isn't it? Right arm hand. Good, good. And rotate your arm and come up on this side. Got it? And up on the other side. Good. See that? There, good for you. That was closer.
A little thin.
Yeah, it was a little thin. You just slid a little bit on the downswing.
This, right? Okay, I gotta get rid of that.
Just hit that foot and then rotate up. Yeah, good job.
That felt like the best contact
Because if
so
you
far.
slide too long,
Yeah.
when you try and extend, okay, you're not going to extend away from the ball. You're just going to extend upwards.
Yeah.
Jake, the problem with your old extension was when you extended away from the ball, you extended away from the ground. Right? You need to, right? When you're coming in to hit, you're getting away from the ball, but you're not getting away from the ground. You understand what I'm saying? When you slide, you move away from the ball, but you move upwards and away from the ground.
Right.
Right? When you get to this lead foot, if you stop sliding, once you post up on this left and you get into your right toe, when you push and drive out of the way, you're staying away from the ball, but you're not staying away from the ground because you're staying more in your posture.
Right. So which means that you can't hit a thin shot, right?
You
Because
kind of
you're
just
still
think
hitting.
your thin shot is because you tilt, you slide, and you extend, and you move away from both the ball and the ground.
Right. Like how can I not? Yeah.
Well, that's improving that pivot in the back. You see what I'm saying?
Oh no, I'm saying that, like,
Right.
but with when I
Yes.
extend early.
Yes.
There's
but you,
no-
but you
there's
had
no
to
choice.
slide because otherwise you would be outside in.
Yeah.
Right? You had to slide. Right? We're at our limit right now.
Okay. Yeah.
0.6.
Yeah.
You know, and like,
no, less-
like we don't.
Well, I was curious on that last one. Yeah.
Yeah. See what I mean? We're right where we need to be.
Okay.
Now we could have a little less action with your hands in the face,
Okay.
right, to bring that 3-6 away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The
Right?
path,
See what I mean? Right? And then we wouldn't have 18 feet of draw. So we're closer. There. Feel that now? Got it? And then use your sternum here to push up against him. See, I'll do it to you this way, right?
Oh, what's this?
You know what I do?
Dude, you got so many tools I've never seen
Okay,
before.
so like, I'll show you, right? So you get on here, right? So what I'm doing here is like I'm coiling up here.
Yep.
So I'm coiling up here. I'm using my sternum here to hold that sliding platform with my heel. So right side, my trail side of my pelvis is going up. My spine's going around. Right? So I'm holding that. Now when I start down, I'm going to hold this sliding platform, drive my pelvis into my lead toe. I'm here. Now I'm here. Right? Now I'm going to push and turn up and come to here. And then I'll push and turn up a little bit further and use my sternum and my spine to push up against this lead heel and hold it there. Okay? Alright, let's see. Alright.
Holy moly. Okay.
Alright.
This poor shaft.
Okay, little less flex in your knees.
Straighter?
If you can, yeah. We need to change level just so. You're using your quads too much. I
Okay.
need to use your glutes and hamstrings. So no, less flex in your knees. Tilt your pelvis a little bit more.
Mhm.
Try and push it out if you can. Now straighten your legs. Yeah, that's harder, right?
Way harder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you got to use.
It's all hand. Yeah, I can feel it's all hand.
You know why you got to? You can rest for a second. But you know why you got to use those muscles?
No.
Because your turn's got to go in.
Yeah.
The
Wait.
muscles at the back turn you in. You use the muscles at the front to turn you closer.
Ah. So.
Do you see what I'm saying? So you see that when I get people on here, they like to use their quads because it's easier.
Right.
But you need to use your glutes and ham, because now when you turn up on this side of your pelvis, this muscle in your glute is what's pulling you up and inside. You feel that?
Oh, what a cool tool. Okay, yeah, this exposes all of that.
Right.
Okay.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, sound good.
So I'll do your hands and arms. Push out when you're ready, and just hold it anywhere that you want to hold
Yep,
it.
right there.
Get your glute and hamstrings to
We'll
start
fire.
it.
Fire.
Good. Now, put weight on that left toe, up with that left side of your pelvis, and use your glute and hamstring to bring you in more up and inside. Feel that?
Mm-hmm.
There's your pivot. You feel
Holy
that?
moly, I'm
Right,
really
now,
hanging on.
now, hold your sternum to hold this platform.
Yep.
Drive this into your foot slightly. Just slightly. Just right there. That
Yep.
would be position 2. Feel that?
Yep, back
right,
to it.
right now. Push here and turn this the other way and stop here. That'd be position 3. Feel that? Right, now from here, you push on that right side pelvis up just a little bit. Hold your sternum right there. Try and stay in your posture a little bit more and use your sternum to hold the inside of your right heel.
My sternum?
Yeah, you're pushing down the inside of your right leg and
Yep.
bracing yourself there. You feel that? Okay, right, rest. You feel that?
Okay.
Right, so see, I do that every day. I do that every
gosh.
day for 4 minutes. A minute on each spot.
Okay, hold on.
We'll do 1 minute there, 1 minute there, 1 minute there, 1 minute there.
You do?
In a row, yeah. But that's level 7, there's level 8. Level 8's a little bit harder, obviously. You gotta feel your glutes and hamstrings now, right?
Oh, yeah, right there, cooking, yeah.
Right there. Okay, so come on. Hold the sliding platform with here,
Yeah.
right? Hold it and drive into your right toe. Good, right there. Feel that? You're right
Okay.
there. You ready to hit?
Yep.
Right, now push up and turn back here and stay in your posture. Don't, remember the shaft, you're gonna bend, so don't let your legs move out towards the ball.
Oh, I see.
Get to here, better, push up, use this, and brace.
And then by the end, it can slide shut.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
You wouldn't hold it.
One, I would be here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Holy, this thing is.
Right. See what I mean?
That is, so you
Right.
do that for a minute at each position?
Yeah. Yeah, because it teaches you, right? Because it teaches you, like, you can go, right? You can go all the way here,
Uh-huh.
right? That's one. And then when I get there, I just make sure I straighten my legs more to get more glutes and hamstrings. Because this
Yeah.
is easy. Like, you could stand here this way. Like, that's
Right.
easy.
Yeah,
I
if
could
you
stand
use,
there for
if
10
you use your
minutes.
quads, it's no problem.
Yeah, and that's no problem. But I got to go this way, right? I got to use these. Then once I'm there, now I've got to push to hold this. Push to hold it and stay here. Right? Just stay there. Right? And then there, and then there. Right? And then I teach myself with my lower body how to hit the ball. Right? You got it now?
How's it? Is this too strong?
Your grip?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of down the list.
Okay, sorry.
Do you know what I mean? I want to make sure you don't reverse pivot. You reverse pivot when you have a neutral grip. Where's your ball going?
Yeah, right.
Left.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to trust making this takeaway? If you keep seeing a left shot?
No, I won't trust. Oh, I see.
You'll want to close it. I'm adding loft to a square club.
Yeah.
Loft is stopping you from hooking. All right. Feel that now?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Now. So your loft delays your hit. Feel that?
My loft what?
Delays your hit.
Oh, I see.
If you start closing the face, you're releasing your wrist.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you
right.
wouldn't want to do this stuff where they're like, you know, like let's bow the wrist and.
No, I would like to have a neutral wrist.
But you know what I mean? But if I bow my wrist, I'll lose my hinge.
Correct. Yeah, you can't.
So
you can't bow your wrist and then have a hinge
have a
at the same
hinge,
time.
right?
You
But
can
if I-
up and have a hinge, but you can't.
I could have more.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't.
Which
I would
would-
just
which
like
would-
to be neutral.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I could delay my hit longer, I could delay the draw. I could use loft to delay the draw. I could use loft to hit it lower.
Okay.
You know why?
No.
Because then I could deliver the club more under the ball and then release more over the ball, taking loft away, therefore taking spin away. So if I come in de-lofted, I'm going to hit behind it.
Mm-hmm.
True?
Yep.
Because I'm moving the leading edge away from the ball.
If I go like this, right?
If I change the face that way, that leading edge is moving away from. I'm going to hit it fat.
Yeah, at least an inch.
Right? Unless I
Slide.
swing steep.
Or yeah.
Right? But if I'm doing this edge is going away from the ball. So I'm going to have to go this way to push that edge back under the ball. But now I'm adding loft, I'm adding spin.
Yeah.
I would rather come in with loft and then release over the top of the ball and take loft away as I hit, therefore I take spin away. So I'd launch it up and hit it flatter.
A higher, flatter flight.
Right.
That lands better too.
Right. Well, that's what you want with your driver too. You know what I mean?
So you like the high launch, low spin driver. You don't like the lower launched, more spin.
Never, because I mean, you only want that scenario around the green.
Yeah.
Right. That's why when you pitch, your body's got to be in front of the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At address. And when you hit full shot, you got to be behind the ball. Right there. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Do that now? Good. Now, come on. Into it. So, covered a lot of topics here. Right there. Just getting started. You feel that?
Yeah.
Up that way. Let's hit it again.
All right. Okay.
Better. Much better. It's different.
Yeah, way different.
It's a nice controlled shot. Felt less handsy, didn't it?
Way less.
Good. Good.
Almost.
Okay, now on this one, you're gonna go up hard, you're gonna land hard, you're gonna go up hard, right? Get your speed out of your lower body. You know what I mean?
Okay, but I can't finish like this. I'm still 3/4.
Go 3/4, but you're gonna go at it hard like you're on that board right there, right? Closer. So you feel your tendency, right? You slide more, and then you lose your posture, right?
I felt it.
Right. And your hands save you.
Yeah,
but then they help you reach the ball.
But the ball has to go right.
Right. Closer, even more. Even more up, so less slide. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
So your hands and arms have the plane, right? Right. Your hands and arms place the club on the plane.
Yeah.
Your body helps circle the club, right? It's not your hands and arms circling the club. Is that fair? Right. Good. Let's see you hit it again. That was better. It's better. It's a nice shot.
That'll work.
Mm-hmm. start overdrawing it now, when you fix your pivot in the backswing,
Yeah.
it gets down to you sliding and losing your posture, and then that's exaggerating.
So, but that's what I can go work on at Evergreen. Is
Yeah,
looking
because
at
then that exaggerates your path out to the left, right? That because you stand up, the shaft's
what is
flattening
that?
out.
Swing direction 7 degrees.
Right. No, because but you're here. You're here now, and now you're doing this as your issue. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Now you don't start covering it with your upper body to fix that number. You fix it with your lower body. Okay, just stood up a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah.
Go again.
All right.
You feel where we're going now?
Yeah. It's good to get the reps.
That's the best one with your hands. You feel that? Right there.
Yeah.
Got it? Yeah.
All right, wait, hold it. Can I do that again?
Yeah, but keep going up on this one. Feel that? Now hold your spot here.
Uh-huh.
Hold the sliding platform and drive into your right toe.
No slide. That was just
Okay,
good.
let's do
That
it
was
again.
just
You ready?
great. Yeah.
Let's do it again. So you go up as I rotate this cup. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You go up in your lower body, on your takeaway. You know what I mean? And up in your upper body. Your upper body's going around. Hold it. Relax here.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Hold it there. See, now you've got all your angle, right? Angle between your right arm and the shaft, and you've maintained your width between your left hand and your shoulder. You got it? You got both. Feel that? Much better. Good. And then up on that left. Better. And then you could drive down. Yes. And then up and through. Nice. Let's hit it. Great.
All right, came out way lower, but I
That
think
was
it's because I was.
great. Now,
Uh-oh. Wait, let's see here.
now, can you stand closer? Okay?
Stand closer.
Yeah, because you just hit it thin off the toe.
I'm Kendria.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh.
No, her program's in here. That's why it's
No, yeah.
But you see what I mean? But that's why you hit it off the toe, because you stand too far away.
So stand closer.
Well, you got to remember, you do this. That throws the club further out, so you back up.
Oh, okay.
Now
Now that we fixed that, I could stand
This
closer.
is slowly going away, but you see. Look, you are here, right? Your contact point's here.
Yeah.
Right. So you line up. You line up this. Here's the shaft,
Uh-huh.
and here's your dot. Right. So you need to move that amount
This way.
this way at the same angle as the shaft, and that would take you back to the sweet spot.
Right.
Right. So you're looking at like standing that much closer.
Yeah.
And you're now back in the middle again. You see what I mean?
Right, but okay, so
Thin toe is a good sign for you. You know what I mean?
so
Now this
here.
forces you to stay in your posture more.
Right, I have to, otherwise now I'm bringing the hosel in.
Well, yeah.
Don't say that too many
Right.
times.
Do you understand? Right.
I get it.
Just we only moved like about 5 millimeters. Good. Good. And then up again on the other side and away from the ball. Okay.
I mean, heavy, but
That's
wow.
all right.
Okay,
That was pretty close there.
just a little heavy. I
Right
got
there.
it.
Less knee flex. Glutes and hamstrings. You got it? Use the muscle.
Fire.
Use the muscle on the back of your left hamstring, right in your glute. Turn up on that left side of your pelvis and those muscles.
Oh, okay. Hold on, wait, sorry.
Right? It's okay.
I'm trying to
Go
feel
again.
it.
Turn up that way again. Better. Yes. Good. And back up.
But instead of
and
this,
back up.
it's
Rotate up.
here.
Rotate up. Yes. Let's hit it again. Better.
Oh, it's
Better.
close. I'm
That's
close,
better.
Peter. All right,
That's better.
that's not it.
It wasn't bad.
It's not great.
Your bad shot's a 6-foot draw. It's not bad. Bad miss. Just a little clean.
Clanky.
Alright.
We want to thump it here. I want to go to Thumptown, USA.
Okay, well look where your numbers are now.
Swing direction 0.4. Still a toey miss, 2 degrees path. Yeah.
Right, okay, and still thin toe.
Still a thin toe.
Right,
So I got it.
right,
So,
fractionally, but
which
keep
means
an
that
eye, like your swing direction went slightly outside in on that one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Slightly
Positive.
outside in, right? So got to keep an eye on that.
Alright.
You know what I mean? So we can't go crazy standing 2 points. Good. Now come on, that's set up. Now really pull with those muscles at the back as you go up on that left side of your pelvis. Good. Nice. Let's go again. Next one. That was better. Rotate your arm harder coming down. That was much better. Do it again. Yep. Up there again. Rotate and hit it.
I feel like I was
just
sliding.
slid.
I think I slid.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Without the
That's
slide.
okay. Better.
That one was flush.
Better.
I mean, that's falling
Just a very slight draw.
right on target there.
First one you've had in the heel.
What?
First one you've had in the heel.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Right? Now, you only got the heel because you closed the face.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? That threw the club out just a little bit. So you're like, okay, it was 3, 6, and 4, 4, right? Forget the numbers, just the fact that the differentials come down to 0.8.
Correct. Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like before you had a differential of like 2.
Is there a metric that looks at swing direction with club path?
What do you mean?
Like, is there a number that, because you know face to path is face angle and minus path angle is the differential.
Right.
Is there a differential for swing direction and club path?
Uh,
You just have to look at it.
I mean,
TrackMan hasn't built a.
You know what I look at there? I look at that 1-4 and that 1-3, and I like that.
The attack,
Yeah, because I want those numbers to match.
low point distance.
Yeah.
I don't know what that. I don't know anything
Well,
about that.
no, the 1-4, you 1-4 down, right?
Uh-huh.
And 1-3 in front.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I got a differential of 0.1.
It's good.
It's very good.
Okay.
Like,
I don't understand.
I don't mind the differential being like your attack angle even being lower and still keeping the 1-3. And explain why. Like if the attack angle say is 3 down and you're 1 inch in front.
Yep.
Okay? That means relative to where you're hitting the ground, you're coming down too steep.
Right.
Okay? Because you're coming down 3, but you're 1 inch in front. So then the face is going to be pointed more left. Because it's pointed more left, because you're coming down steeper.
Yeah.
Relative to where you're hitting the ground. Because it's pointed more left, you're going to have to use more hands to close it.
Sure.
Okay. If I come down more shallow, the face is going to point to my target sooner.
For a longer period of time.
For a
during
longer
impact.
period of time, therefore I could use my hands less and still produce a draw.
Exactly. Just
Right?
with rotation. Just
Right.
with path.
So I'm looking for a differential of 0 or better.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I get people to like, well, I had Kendra yesterday at negative 0.1. It's the first time she's ever been below 0.
She's crazy.
Right?
She's gonna be.
But there's a boy I had at negative 0.8.
Which boy?
He comes here from San Francisco. But you should see, his hands are so forward at impact. He hits these flat bullets because he's coming in so shallow and yet the bottom of his swing is like 3 inches in front of the ball. You see what I mean?
Like he's like here.
Well, he can open up really hard because his face is catching up so early.
Uh-huh.
Then he just has to rotate and turn and just hold it there longer. And now his hands
And then
get
it
presented
just-
more forward.
Yeah. Ball speed monster. He's
Right.
Tons
you
of
see what I
ball
mean?
speed, right?
Versus the guy that's this way having to do this because they're too steep relative to where they're hitting the grass. You see what I mean? So that's why you want to have that difference. Right? And like in your case, when you did there, right, your last shot was your best shot.
Because.
Right? You know it was your best shot because now it's like it's 0.
Yeah.
Right? You felt that. You know what I mean? Now you're like, okay, I don't need to close this club face. You know what I could do? I could put the loft back on the club longer coming down.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think it'll take a while for my brain to like, my subconscious to realize all this. Unless I like really think about all these things, it's not gonna necessarily
No,
happen.
it's not. I mean, I'm just kind of giving you a glimpse of the future, but you're
the only reason people don't present the loft back on the club on the downswing
Mm-hmm.
is because typically most people can get steep. Do you know what I mean? If they put loft back on a steep club, they're just going to
It's
slice.
no good.
Right, so. But Hogan did. Right? Hogan put loft back on the club. You know why?
You know, I feel like I can talk. I feel like I could talk to you for 8 hours just about historic great players and what they did.
Well, I mean, like, see, his club had negative bounce, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, we talked about that.
That's
didn't we?
crazy.
Right? Do you know what I mean? We talked about it last time. Didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So. Good. You got it?
I think so. Let's see.
People up here have to realize one thing. To stop hitting it fat, because everybody hates hitting it fat, because the ground's soft.
In
Right?
Washington,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense, right? It rains, the ground gets
Northern
wet.
California, they don't have that problem.
No, either in Texas, right? So what do there? They sweep it, right? They sweep.
Yeah.
But they can't sweep it up because it's windy. So
Oh.
now you have to sweep it and take the spin off the ball. That's why there's so many good ball strikers from Texas.
The flat, they have to have those
You
flat
have
shots.
you have to have a shallow swing, and you have to be able to take spin away. You know what I mean?
Shallow.
Right?
most players in this state typically are too steep.
Right? Most. I won't say all, but most.
Well, it just lends itself to playing golf in the Northwest, right?
Right. And then it's like, I hate hitting it fat, so they swing steep. And then when they swing steep, they then start to slice. Right? Or push.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So then they start closing the club.
So when you look at the pros from Washington, like a Putnam or whoever,
They have those tendencies.
okay.
Right? There's a lot of hand closures. This swing's generally too upright.
My brother-in-law just played with Putnam at Walla Walla.
Uh-huh.
Johnny Larson. He didn't play well. He didn't make it through, but he won his local.
I was surprised the scores were that high. Was it a nice day?
Yeah, he said it wasn't too windy.
Well, hang on, 8 under is not low out there.
Not, I don't think so.
I was expecting 12.
Rudy Caparas, 5-iron pro, Callaway player, used to be at Mill Creek with his sister.
Yeah.
Rudy, he was one shot off from getting in.
I saw him out here practicing.
He goes out and putts with me all the time.
Okay, I've seen him out here practicing. You know that first hole of Wine Valley?
Yeah. Johnny birdied it, and then he just,
No, was it playing into the wind?
he was.
That's normal wind direction.
Yeah, but he hits it 350.
My son locked it on that.
No.
I'll tell you a couple of other holes. Number
Who's your son?
Harrison. He's
Does he play in Washington?
no. I mean, he's finished playing college golf.
Oh,
And
is it?
he's carried at 400 on track. His seven's like 285, 290. Well, you know that, what's that par 5, number 7?
7, yeah.
Did they play it from the 600 tee or the up tee?
No, they played it one up.
One up
They
tee?
didn't play it all the way back.
Okay, so from that tee, he just hit 7-iron wedge there. Number, was it 17? He flew it on the green.
Wow.
I'll tell you something like,
That's crazy. Do you have a?
because he's always like he's won. They've had Washington State
Yeah, Wine
They have
Valley is a
Washington State.
popular.
qualifiers there. They have Washington State amateur qualifiers there.
Yeah.
We'd always
'Cause
go there.
Tomorrow is it Sunday because?
We'd always go there because we'd always win.
Yeah.
Because like that's like the easiest course for him.
Yeah. Talk about courses for courses. He loves it,
Oh, that course is easy.
and the ball goes far over there.
You know, it's funny. I took that.
Right here.
Yeah. When we went to the qualify, one year we
You
went to
took
the
the
qualify.
slide?
I took the. So we check into the hotel, right? And then we check in the hotel. I got this under my arm, right? And so we go check in. There's a bunch of guys in the foyer, right? You know, like kind of looking
Yeah.
at me, just kind of smirking a little bit, like, okay, what's that training aid, right? You know what I mean?
Because they're all golf guys. The whole hotel is
right.
full of
It's always
golf.
right, right? So anyway, so the next day is the qualifier. We play in the morning.
No, go ahead. You talk.
Keep going, yeah.
Doesn't bug me.
we play in the morning. We're like second group off. You know, it's a little cool into the wind. It's like, you know, just hit a stinger drive there. You don't have to go all that. Anyway.
Because you caddy for him, right?
Yeah, so down there, and the official's up by the green. Official's like, it's like, has your guy hit his second shot yet? I said, no, not yet. He's like, oh, you know, like, why are you here? I said, well, I just gave him his putt. You know, I said, we're just waiting for the other two guys to hit on before he hits his second shot. He said, well, where's his ball? I said, well, he's on the green. We just got to wait. Right?
The official didn't see it come in?
No, because he's sitting, like, the ball was rolling down the fairway, right? You know, because it's rolling. He's like, he's on the green in one. I'm like, yeah. Right? So anyway, we get to the turn. You know, you have to give you 9-hole scores, right? Yeah. Gives his 9-hole score, whatever it was. The guy's like, it's like, oh, I heard you're the guy that knocked it on one, didn't you? Right? Yeah. So anyway, we finished the qualify. So anyway, shot like 66 or whatever it was.
Yeah, great.
We go back to the hotel to check out, get our stuff checked out, and then go back to the course to see how it finishes up, right? So we're walking out of the hotel with the board, right, and the bags, and the guys who are
What's that board?
The day before, yeah. The day before, they're kind of like, are you the guy that knocked it on one today?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And then I was walking behind him, and he's like, did your son use that? I'm like, yeah. What is that thing, right?
Yeah.
You know, the day before they're laughing.
Well, the first day they're smirking. at you.
Yeah, it's so funny because the next day they're like, where do I get one of these, right?
It was fun. I was hoping Jacob was going to make it out there.
Jacob.
Ag.
Yeah. Because he's Redmond, right?
Yeah.
Does he see you?
Jacob, yeah, he's a good player. I think when he's here, like, man, he swings it so good sometimes. It's like unreal. He's gonna play for Seattle. He's gonna play for Mark, Seattle.
Does Walker Lamb see you? He's one of the Evergreen employees.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see him there all the time.
Mark's a good friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
The head coach, because my son played 1 year for Mark.
Oh.
Good, nice.
Were you at the?
He
did
played.
you go to Gold Mountain for
he played at
Seattle?
Northwestern, and then he had an extra year with COVID, so he did a grad degree at Seattle and played for Mark for a year.
Did you go down to Gold Mountain a few weeks ago to watch Seattle U?
No, I didn't go. Gold Mountain's a good course.
So good.
We played there. Was it State Am? We had the State Am there.
Mm-hmm. I know a couple of.
Do you know Reed Hatley?
Reed? No.
Reed, he played for Arizona. He's kind of probably his 40s now, late 30s, 40s.
Played at Arizona. Plays all the amateur stuff. He's won the Oregon Open.
I think he's won the Washington. No, he hasn't won Washington State, but he's won the Oregon Open. He's won the Oregon amateur. You know, a good player. He turned us in at the State Am at Gold Mountain. Turned us into the rules official.
What'd you do?
We're playing that par 5, number 6.
Yeah, the downhill one.
Downhill one.
Great
So
par
it's like 580.
Looks
or
like a
something
lace.
From,
Looks
it's like 580 from the back.
Yeah, but if you could get it 275, you get over the hill and down.
Yeah, he flew the hill.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the whole hill.
Yeah.
So he had 100 in.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're waiting down there. Reed hits driver off the tee to the top of the hill, and then he lays up with a 5-iron, like a foot behind our drive.
Okay.
Right, but before he hits his second shot, he hits his second shot. He sees his ball is short of where we're standing, right, and he's up on the top of the hill because we're playing with another guy from Gonzaga.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls out his phone and takes a picture of where we are and where he was, and he sends it. This is in the middle of the State Am. He sends it to the head rules guy, Scotty. Who was, I think he's with the USG. He's like, this shouldn't be allowed.
What?
Like, I've just hit 2 shots on the par 5, and I'm still behind this guy's drive.
Yeah.
Like, this guy should be disqualified.
For what?
Just as a joke, right? It's just as a joke, right? Because he was a nice guy.
Oh, he wasn't trying to actually disqualify.
No, just having fun. Like, it's just like.
That's funny.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
Oh, I thought you meant turned you in like.
No.
Something happened. I can live with that.
Yeah. People in this state know now. Like when he was playing, You play Palouse?
I haven't. It's on my list.
Okay. We
I
play
have a-
USAM qualifier there. Number
Oh.
9 is like 484 uphill, and you put it put it on the edge of the front honk.
484.
Yeah, uphill.
That is so long.
Yeah.
Is he still long? Is he still that long?
He's probably.
I mean, it's hard to keep
like
it.
100 and he hasn't played. He came out and hit balls one day. I mean, he's still. He'll still come out and like hit some knockdown gap wedges like at 102 or 3 miles an hour, just kind of getting loose. But
So that's just
that
low
was-
and middle.
Yeah, go again. That was
Now-
better. You hit one more.
This is longer than I normally carry my 8-iron. Like 8-iron.
I don't have any problem getting longer.
No, I have no
I
problem.
like longer.
I have
Longer
no
makes
problem.
you hit it straighter.
I have no problem hitting it longer.
Longer makes you hit it straighter.
Right, because if you're optimizing everything, then it goes
Right.
longer.
You could tee off with more loft if you don't want to hit a driver.
One of these days, I'm gonna have you look at my driver, but we got to figure everything else out first.
Give me one more to hit. You got it?
Just to here.
Yeah,
Just
no,
to get back
I'm
to you.
just giving you a takeaway feel. You know what to do from here. You just got to keep coiling up. You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Coiling up, down, push up, turn in your posture, and up.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. One more. Good. Come on. Use your glutes and hamstrings on this from your setup and back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if that feels like you're too far from the ball, then you know why. Because you're too far from the ball. You know what I
If
mean?
it feels like you're too far from
Okay,
the
now,
ball.
okay, stay where you are and now get away from the ball. Like, no, like straighten your knees more, like you're on that leaderboard. Yeah, just a tiny flex, tiny, and use your glutes and hamstring. Now turn up on that left side of your pelvis and away from the ball. You got it?
Am I reverse pivoted right now?
No,
I'm not.
no.
Let's go.
Come on, let's go up there.
All right, that's what we want.
Less flex. Come on, less. Use the back because you're gonna turn up and away. Good. Up and away. Very nice. Was that in the heel? No.
No.
It was on the toe again.
Yeah.
So eventually we could get closer, right? Do you know what I mean?
No, but let's.
You see what I mean though? Like, you start turning where you don't get closer. You got to turn where you get better, where you get away. Jake, when you turn back and you turn through, your objective with your pivot on both sides of the ball is to get taller and away from the ball more. Right? It's gonna keep you in your posture initially and get away from the ball, but eventually you're gonna get taller and away from the ball on both sides.
Oh, don't look at that one.
It's alright.
That was way off the toe.
Just slid and
Yep. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to overfeel the tallness.
you don't have to do that. It's just in your lower body, not your upper body.
Just in my lower body.
Yeah, come on, get good. There you go. Way too much knee flex. There you come on, back. Yeah.
Slid, left. I already know.
Gosh, thin toe. All right, down to 0.6.
But I understand when I'm doing it now though, which is good. Before I had no idea why.
Here we are here.
Yep.
Okay. Hold the sliding platform.
Yep.
Driving your toe. Good. That's plenty. Right. Right.
Yep.
Come on. Rotate. Down and in. Hold it there. Hold it there. Don't move. There,
Oh.
right there.
Yep.
Come on there, because you're gonna flex the shaft.
Flex the shaft.
Right. Keep pushing back on my hand and up. Yeah. Keep going. Yeah. You got it.
Okay. So I'm like way too much like this. I need to stay a little more. Okay.
Better.
I hands deep.
Better. But see, like at impact, your lower body, right? Your lower body at impact, right? It has to have two components to it. Okay? You're rotating to the right. Is that fair?
Yep.
You're rotating to the right.
Yep.
But your legs must be angled to the left. You understand what I'm saying? See, when you turn, you rotate to the right, but your legs are to the right.
Yeah.
Your legs have to be, you have to be inside out with your legs as your pelvis is going to the right. Like stay there, set up at address. Right? So let's need to, now keep your knees parallel to your target line right now. No. Stay where you are. Don't move anything except push and turn this and this side of your pelvis, but don't move your knee. Just turn, push on this foot and keep going. Now don't move the club, don't move anything.
Oh.
Don't move anything and keep your knees parallel to your target line.
Okay.
Keep going.
That's about it.
Alright, so your legs now are inside out. Can you feel that?
Yep.
But your pelvis is rotating to the right.
Yep.
So you have to have one of each. You
Yeah.
can't have two.
Because then look, as soon as I do that, everything collapses.
Right. Right? Now, with your upper body, you need one of each. Right? Your upper body is staying turned back, so that's giving you the feeling of inside out. Your arm's actually rotating inward towards you, right? Because it rotated away from you, and then it rotated back in. Is that fair?
Yep.
Right, so as it's rotating in, if my arm rotates in and my shoulders turn this way, I've got two things going to the right. I can't do that. So I need to be inside out as I rotate inward. I need to be inside out as I rotate outward. Is that fair?
Makes sense.
Right?
Doing it now.
No, but I mean just understanding, so when you kick that knee in, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
That was outside in. That would be a pull. What I'm saying is you could get rid of some of this curve by not being outside in with your legs.
Alright, here we go. Boom.
Push and
Boom.
turn.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Knees stay.
Come on, push it up and back on this one.
What?
Yeah, turning there, staying, hold it, stay there with the club. Keep going, better, keep going with your arm. Alright, one more.
Okay.
That's something extra, right? That's learning another phase of your lower body movement. You know what I mean? Alright, good with your setup. Good takeaway and then coil up on that left. Very nice today. Good job. Very good. That's golf without your hands.
I need more of that, Peter. Peter,
Yeah,
thank you
very
so
good.
much.
Does that help?
It helps so much.
You know, it's just, I mean,
And I can watch it back and try and remember all this because I need to.
well, you're hitting balls and we're talking and you're trying to focus.
I know, but I have to remember like the lesson. That's one thing that I really realized is that, like for the next 4 hours, I'll be able to remember how to do that, and then I'll go to sleep tonight and wake up and be like, come to the range to hit
Well,
balls, and I'll go, what am I doing now?
I mean, there's many other things, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like.
So you think so?
See,
When you
when
say
you
grip is down
hold
the
the
list.
like when you hold the club, like when you put your hands on the club, what's the purpose of that?
To square the face to the target.
The purpose of that is I'm building my swing.
Oh.
That's the purpose of my hands, right? Now when you look at a grip, how do you know that someone has a good grip? Like what tells you?
I don't know.
It doesn't tell you from here. Right, that gives you a clue. I'll put it to you this way. Your grip's like a book, okay? So here's the front of the book. So it says, you know, how to play golf. So you know what the title is, but you don't know what's inside, right? So then you're like, you know what? I'll look at the back of the book. And I learn a little bit more. What's going on at the back of the book.
Okay.
Do you understand? Now here's the back of the book, right? At the back of the book, my knuckles need to be in line.
They all should be lined up.
Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, this being 4, and 1, 2, 3. They all line up. You see that? So my knuckles line up. See, if my knuckles line up and I do this, my hands match the club face.
So these four here.
I
and
go
these
1,
four
2,
here.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's neutral, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I do this, I know my knuckles are in line.
Yep.
Therefore, if I do this, my hands are in line with the face.
On either side, right? Like this.
Right.
Like if you could hit it like this, you would.
Well, I need my hands. I need to know where the face is with my hands. So when I rotate my arm, I know the face is matching my hands.
Yep.
Right. So I need to know that. So that would be the back of the book, right? But I still don't know everything. So I got to open the book up. Now I open the book up. Now I learn something. Now I learn what's going on inside the book. Right? Most people make the mistake. If you want to hold on there.
To
Right? And you hold on with your grip. Just make your grip. And I'm going to tell you what it is before you do it. Okay. Now, can you open up this hand? Just keep your hand where it is. That's not too bad. Okay. So I would make sure. I never see this bit of your flesh here on that finger. Like
Yeah.
it's not sitting this way. Like it's not sitting like diagonally across. You see those middle two fingers? They have to sit that way.
square, like this, not like this.
Yeah, it never sits
Here.
that way. Because
So you
that's,
should never see the flesh of your index finger.
no, because that's your third pressure point in your hands.
Ah,
You have 4 pressure points in your hands. Remember that?
no.
Okay. You feel them
The
when you
lack
swing.
of what I know, Peter, is incredible.
Okay, so when you swing, right, you have 4 pressure points. So when I'm putting my hands on the club, I'm just going through, this is my first pressure point, this pad. My second one is here, right? That crease
3,
of the
4.
knuckle. These 2 middle fingers here is my third one, and then here's my fourth one.
So the inside and then the top.
No, just this inside crease of the knuckles, right? So I've got both here and here. I've got here and I've got here.
Mhm.
So when I make a takeaway, I push down on 1 into 2. The club rotates into 3, and 4 stabilizes it on plane. Okay, when I release the club coming back into the ball, pressure's building on 1. 1 releases into 2. 2 releases into 3,
And the very last.
and then 4 stabilizes the face. Right?
Yep.
See what I mean? So I've got to have those 4 points. Now, if it's this way, my third pressure point's off. Okay? Now, people that go like that typically will go like this. And now they'll go like
They'll cover
this.
the
Well,
top.
their hand is this way, right?
And it's
so
not
your
clear.
hand, for me, my right hand, right? My right hand doesn't wrap over. My right hand has to move parallel to the shaft when I put it on. So I put it on here.
So do you see people
I
take
move
their
this
grip-
way. I go this way. If I go this way, I can now find this pressure point. And see, now my hand matches the face. See, if I go this way, my hand does not match the face.
So do you find that people should take their grip vertically like this? Like take your grip above?
Oh yeah, up here, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely above
And
the
then
ground.
come down.
Yeah,
the ball.
absolutely. Yeah. But see then, because when you hit, you don't hit. See, most people have this part too much on top, and what that's doing is putting force on top of the shaft to release your wrist early, right? So you need your right hand or your bottom hand to sit on the
Behind.
side because
Yeah.
you're hitting this way.
Yeah.
You're not hitting that way. You're hitting that way, right? So you're hitting that way up against. Do you know what I mean? And
Yep.
that way you're
Just as if like your hand was behind the face of the club, like you're hitting this.
Yeah,
You can't
exactly.
hit like this.
That's why your knuckles on this hand always face the ground.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, when you hit, right, when you're going through here, your knuckles never work upwards. Like they always, your knuckles on your bottom hand always stay down. Right? They stay down. That's how this arm could stay under the shaft. These knuckles never work. These knuckles never work up. Right? Right? They always stay down. So they're always staying down. There, right? Your right forearm's going to rotate. Your knuckles stay down.
Always, even here, right? Unless
Yeah, I mean they've moved, but you didn't rotate them to
Yep.
move, right? See what I mean? That's how you create force.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Thank you so much.
That's all right. That's
Yeah,
all right. Anytime.
I really appreciate it.
That's all right. Let me know.
Yeah, I will.
Work on it.
I got a lot to work on with the irons, and eventually, I want to see for woods. But
Yeah, that's
that's
fine.
that's a
It's
whole nother set of